So, I was listening to Chaotix Casefiles because I don't think I would have had it. I think I wouldn't have watched it if I didn't figure out that it was just a podcast and it's available on Spotify. So, naturally, I watched it and oh my gosh, they brought Infinite back. They brought Infinite back. How? While I get over my inherent shock, please make sure to hit the like button, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, please make sure to hit the notification bell. Let's get into it. Now, a lot of people seem to hate Sonic Forces, and I get why. Like, it's short, not all the levels are super great. Classic Sonic's levels especially suck because Classic Sonic isn't the best to control. But I still really enjoy the game because there's some fun to be had with the difficulty progression. The red rings are hard to get, all the levels are multi-layered and fun to explore. It's just a typical Sonic game and that's why I like it. But of course, my favorite part of Sonic Forces was the concept of Infinite. Sonic being overpowered for once. In fact, I was about to write an entire fanfiction about how Infinite could return, and I didn't think it'd be in something that relate to the Chaotix, because the Chaotix just always felt like they appear at this place at this time, and they just so happen to help Sonic and his friends. They always felt like the Chaotix were just there to be there, and they just didn't really make an impact. Until now, anyway, because the Chaotix Casefiles just completely broke. It broke me. I was interested in the show at first because I was like, oh man, this is gonna be like a detective show. It's probably gonna be all animated and look all like not that colored and very old-timey. I thought something like that would be really cool. It was unfortunate to see that it was just audio and that's it, which it's still fine because your imagination can be really powerful. And I personally am a fan of detective stuff. Like, I've played Detective Pikachu. I like shows like the Chaotix Casefiles where the detective is the protagonist and you're trying to figure out the culprit and stuff. Because you never really know what you're getting with something like that. And oh man, they hit it out of the park. Like, I thought if Infinite was going to return, it'd be in a Shadow the Hedgehog game, where Shadow has to face Infinite and keep him from destroying reality with the Phantom Ruby, which wasn't actually destroyed. Because the Phantom Ruby, it kind of like creates a new reality for you. So I figured, oh, reality manipulation would be an idea that they could just take so much farther. Well, they didn't really do that here. But they did bring up a good point in the Chaotix Casefiles. Infinite is supposed to be dead. He died fighting Sonic. And his body just disappeared. So, game theory here, he disappeared into the Phantom Ruby's reality. And as we all know from episode Shadow, Infinite was originally a jackal he was an actual living being. And Sonic and friends probably didn't know that at the time before Shadow and Sonic met at Sunset Heights. Heck, they even talk about it himself. Here's a quick clip.
Impossible. Your abilities exceed your previous data.
Unlike mechs, I can grow. I get more powerful every second.
See, there it is. Sonic just straight up called Infinite a mech because they didn't know things at the time, and Shadow did know things from episode Shadow. So from where we are with episode 7, the Red Spectre, Shadow's probably going to make an appearance. Let's be real. Episode 8 of the Chaotix Casefiles, it's going to be like Shadow versus Infinite or whatever. Shadow appears, who knows. But overall, I really liked how thorough they were with the Chaotix Casefiles, going over stuff like Cream and Vanilla and Gemroll. Like, I really didn't like how they made Gemroll sound super mindless. Like, maybe if they just gave him more expression outside of being a robot, which he is, then I'd be a little bit more forgiving. And the fact that Vector was telling the story in real time to Egghead and Sonic, beautiful. Stuff like that just brings so much life to detective shows and games. And I love how there was an episode featured on Sage, because Sonic Frontiers technically is the most recent mainline Sonic game. Like, I mean, I guess Shadow Generations could count, but since Shadow Generations technically took place around the same time Sonic Generations took place, which I'm going to say was roughly still in the 2010s, I'm going to say that because Shadow Generations took place around the exact same time of Sonic Generations, that it won't count for the time frame, because if we're talking about like chronological order, Sonic Frontiers is the most recent mainline video game. Now, of course, there is Sonic Superstars, which released about a year later. I don't want to say it doesn't count, but I feel like that it's so overlooked that Sega just didn't care. I guess we can go with that, because if we're talking about like canon timeline right now, I guess Sonic Frontiers is where we are, which means that the Chaotix Casefiles could be leading into the next mainline Sonic game, which, guess what? This year's the Sonic 35th anniversary, so I'm really glad that they're presenting Infinite and the Chaotix in this way. Especially because the Chaotix just never really felt like huge characters before, and here they are, they're fixing that problem, and I applaud Sega for that. If there's something Sega does, it's make fantastic Sonic TV shows. And you know what? Since Infinite is in Chaotix Casefiles, I'm sure a lot of other people may have predicted this, but I think he's gonna make it into Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, because as the website shows, there's still many characters to be revealed. And you know what? I'm just gonna say that because Infinite has come back, I think that he's also gonna make his way into the next mainline Sonic game, because I want to see him have yet another chance, and I want him to actually be challenged by not just Sonic but also Shadow, because Shadow's kind of the reason Infinite exists. And while Infinite is pretty explicit on Sonic being one of his main targets in the Chaotix Casefiles, let's be real here, Shadow's going to make an appearance in the next episode, and if he doesn't, then he doesn't. But I'm just gonna say that Infinite will be in the next mainline game, and both Sonic and Shadow will have their own separate campaigns, just like the old Sonic Adventure days. Maybe they won't, who knows? I mean, what do I know? I mean, I'm just a bad Sonic fan. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Make sure to hit the like button, make sure to hit the subscribe button, please hit the notification bell. I will see you all next time. Later.